Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to my current Last Night on Earth collection. Last Night on Earth, zombie game, as said there, kind of gives away what it is. One of my favourite board games at the moment, very enjoyable. Timber Peak I just picked up recently. This is the base game here, the original. Timber Peak is a base game, but you've already seen a video on that. If you haven't, go watch it. And Blood in the Forest is an expansion to the base game particularly. I also have a Zombies with Grave Weapons expansion, but I don't actually have the cards for that, unfortunately. I want to work out a way to sort this massive collection of Last Night on Earth stuff and consolidate it as much as possible, make it as easy to set up as possible. So we're going to try and do that. So we open up Timber Peak here. We're going to have all the Timber Peak stuff. This hasn't been mixed in or anything, but it's all going to be dumped in here. So we've got the rule manual. Obviously, again, you should have seen all this in the video. That's the bit that I dropped. First of all, we are going to sort through what we currently have. Played this today and we had to finish up real fast. We had to put it away in like 5 minutes, so everything's been dumped in the box for now because I knew I was going to be sorting it tonight anyway. Main board there. Baggy. The rest of the corner boards, we have scenarios, characters, another baggie, some more scenarios there, then some tokens knocking around, plenty of tokens in there. We have the hero deck, like so, the zombie deck, like so. Some tokens in there. We have zombie and hero upgrades there, reference cards, dice, figures, and more tokens in there that we're going to have to sort out and understand. Tokens are going to be super easy to sort out. The part I'm worried about is the cards mainly, because I don't just want to combine all the cards from all the games, because then it becomes more luck based. There's also a bigger stack of hero cards, and one of the lose conditions is if the hero deck runs out. The scenario search items, like cards that you need to find, they're going to be less likely to find. So I don't want to just combine all the cards. We're going to have to work that one out. Blood in the Forest box is currently empty besides the Grave Weapons box, which I believe is also empty. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, just the insert in there, which kinda useless. Don't really need it, as I'm not going to be using the box most likely. Unless I can consolidate it into one big box and one small box. That would be nice. I don't think that's going to happen. But then we have the main box, which should have all the Blood in the Forest, all the Zombies with Grave Weapon stuff. That should all be sorted relatively well, because I've already sorted this out. So that's the instructions there, instructions there, instructions there. Suntrack marker, okay. Signed promo card, really nice. When you buy from their store, I believe every time you buy from their store, they give you a signed promo card, which is wonderful. I love that. These are the Grave Weapon promos. This is still in the baggie because I don't have the Grave Weapon deck. Summary, turn summaries. More Grave Weapon stuff, which I can't really use. Large miscellaneous tokens. These are 14 zombies in 2 different colors. That is... I think these are the Grave Weapon miniatures, I think. Yeah, these must be the Grave Weapon miniatures. Dice. I have these graves. I picked these up from Michael's last Halloween. Just to kind of use as... Instead of the X's, just use these as spawn tokens, which is kind of fun. Haven't actually used them yet. That looks to be hero miniatures there. Black and purple zombies, again 14 of them, 7 each colour. Gas tokens and probably, yeah, biocanister, some miscellaneous item tokens. I believe this is spawn tokens or summoning tokens, I think they're called, for the behemoth zombies from the Blood in the Forest and the feral zombies. More just marker tokens, pilots and faith and stuff. taken over and lights out tokens. Little baggy for the soundtrack. I'm in a baggy mood with my board games right now. Kind of everything I get just gets thrown into baggies. Like sorted as much as possible. That's the soundtrack marker and just the alternative marker for scenario-based stuff. Zombie hero tokens there. Wound tokens. That will be Principal Gomez and other townsfolk tokens, not just Principal Gomez. Extra spawning pits. Some experience. The numbered scenario tokens, if you need those. We've got some characters here. These are all base game and Blood in the Forest characters. Becky and Sister Ophelia and Billy and other such people. These are the base game and Blood in the Forest expansion or missions. These are the zombie behemoths and their tokens or their miniatures. Feral Dead and their miniatures. Hero upgrades here from Blood in the Forest. Is there zombie upgrades in here as well? No, I think that's just hero upgrades. We've got the actual zombie deck. So right now that's a sizable amount of cards just as is. This we'll get to in a second. This is the hero deck, which again, sizable amount. Some salvage tokens and free search and other such stuff there. So this is something from Arts Cow here. This is something that somebody on Board Game Geek designed. It's like a mini fan-made expansion. So it comes with things like outdoor encounters, which you can do. There are zombie hero abilities. So if you get a zombie hero, they get an ability. Sun track deck, which does something when the sun goes up and down, I think. Something, not 100% certain. I've never really played with it. But that is that. There's kind of an extra thing we'll have to deal with. And then the rest of this, these are some Blood in the Forest corner boards for the forest. Nothing on the back. Forest. Based game corner boards. There we go. Whole bunch of those. The Blood in the Forest extra foresty boards for whatever reason. And then the two baseboard, Blood in the Forest, and the main baseboard. Okay. So that's everything we have. We're essentially going to have one box probably of just boards. Maybe the cards too, and then another box of tokens and miniatures. We're going to have to sort this out here. Bear with me and I'll figure out what I want to do. Alright, so we have all the experience tokens and wound tokens separated into a bag across both games. That's not really going to be a problem as they can be used across both games. That's something. As for the dice, we probably only need to keep one set, and I can keep one set of dice just knocking around for either prototyping or to replace parts in other games. So I think I'm just going to set one of these aside for now. This one's in a nicer bag. I don't know if that's just wear or if it's just generally a nicer bag. So I'll just set the other set of dice aside and we'll just keep this one with the game. So then the taken over and lights out tokens, we can take those from both games. We can just shove them into one bag as well. That shouldn't really change anything, balance of the game wise. Okay, then we have these item markers, which are different from the Faith and Pilot markers, from what I understand. So those can go in their own bag. If I can find a suitably sized bag here, there we go. So we should also have 8 of these number tokens, which we do. These are all from the Timber Peak. We also have 8 from the base game as well. Looking at them, they do look the same, basically. But we'll keep all from one set. The other set can be used, I suppose, for either prototyping or replacement parts. We don't really need 2 of them as far as I'm aware, unless it's some kind of crazy custom scenario. I'm going to grab the townsfolk tokens. Is there only one? Blood in the Forest, there might only be one. I'm sure there is more than that, but we'll shove them in with the townsfolk from the base game into this little baggie here. And then the rest of these square tokens could go in with the base game square tokens as well. That's not going to be an issue as far as I know. Yeah, they're both double-sided. They do look slightly different. We're going to need a bigger bag for those though. Okay, these zombie hero tokens, they can get combined here. In fact, they look identical, same artwork and everything. Those can get combined. We might put the infected tokens in here as well. At least for the time being. I don't know if they're going to stay or not. I think the trees and the generators will chuck in with these large tokens. At least just the trees, because they're more board modification tokens. Yeah, maybe the generators and that little stick of dynamite thing too. The explosive plunger. We will also chuck the extra spawn tokens in with the base game spawn tokens. And we'll keep the brown score track marker. The red one we have replicated, and the sun track marker we also have replicated, so we can keep those for spares. And just to neaten everything up a little bit, I'm going to chuck the graves into their own separate baggie too, just to keep them out of the way. And in fact, the fire is going to need a baggie as well. Okay, but that is most of the tokens, accessories, and other such sorted out. I mean, the corner boards can all go into the border box. That's absolutely fine. We do need to consider the cards, though. That's the only thing that I'm kind of iffy about right now. One thing I am curious about, though, is whether the heroes from the base game that have been brought over to the new game, if they look the same. I don't think they do. No, they're definitely different molds. In fact, he's... Oh no, he's just crouching, the other one. There should be... That's Ted, or Ed, I think he's called. That's Sister. That's Sally, or... Jenny from the base game. That is... what's his name? He's the jock type character. I can't remember his name. That's Father, whatever his face is. That is the agent. That's Sally, the high school sweetheart. That's the word I was trying to think of. Who is from the from Timber Peak. I'm gonna guess she's this one. Yeah, they're dressed the same. Okay, so she's that one. So I'm gonna have to possibly mark the bases of these, because I keep forgetting which one is which. They're kind of difficult to find, especially we found in the Timber Peak, is they looked very similar. It might be because we're just new to it, but maybe we're stupid, I don't know. But now these can all go into a little baggie, and we'll deal with those later. Let's deal with the cards for now. Alright, so right now, just kind of sorting through the different cards here. We have each of the events out. Just kind of working out which ones we want to keep, which ones we want to remove, how much of each one we want to have. Not exactly entirely 100% sure how we want to do this completely, but we're just going to have to kind of work it out here. Okay, so Hopeful Discovery and just what I needed from the base game, Hopeful Discovery from Timber Peak. They seem to be flavorally or thematically the same, roughly. So just what I needed, you can take any card from the hero cards discard pile. If there are no cards in the discard pile, you may draw a new hero card. Or take any scenario search item from the draw deck, then shuffle the deck. The Helpful Discovery is look at the top 5 cards of the hero deck, choose one to take, one to discard, and put the rest back on top of the deck. Or take the scenario search item from the discard pile or hero deck, shuffle the hero deck. So this one actually gives you an item from the deck, but a scenario search item from the draw deck, or an item from the discards, or a scenario search item from the deck. This one gives you a scenario search item from the discard or the deck, but only a card from the deck, but you do get a choice. So I think there are 4 of these in the base game, 3 of these in Timber Peak, so I think we'll keep 2 of each, for example. And that gives you kind of the best of both worlds and keeps it roughly the same balance as to where you're getting items from. So apparently Flying Frog Productions has a huge card list of every card from Last Night on Earth. Oh my god! This is amazing! Yes, I need this so bad. So we've got all the base game here, the advanced games, that's those advanced ones with the symbol on them, Growing Hunger, Timber Peak, Blood in the Forest, Stock Up, which I don't have most of this stuff, but look at all this stuff. Oh my god, I'm so happy it's got everything here. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, so we can kind of work out what we want to do, and in fact, if we click some of these, like Get Back You Devils, it has the text. It has the text. Oh, that makes me so happy. And then you can actually search the text itself to see something I don't even know. This makes me happy. So happy. Alright, so I have come up with a deck of about 70 hero cards to use. Includes anything that would be a search item on the board, such as here you can pick up a torch. Also includes anything that you need to win a scenario in roughly balanced quantities, including some cards that just aid you in getting those cards that you need to win a scenario with anyway, so it kind of helps to balance it out. As for the zombie cards, as zombies get to draw between all the zombie players 4 cards every turn, possibly, I think I'm just going to keep them all together, most likely. Maybe remove some duplicates, if there are any. The upgrade cards, probably keep those all together as well. Again, maybe removing duplicates. But I think that should be balanced anyway. It's mainly the hero deck that needs to be balanced, as it can be endgame conditions in multiple ways. Alright, so I've been looking through it. I've decided to keep the zombie deck and the hero, all the upgrades together, at least for now. Maybe once I've played with it for a little bit, then I might change my mind. But for now, I'm going to be happy with that, I think. But now we want to try and get everything into the box. If I can, ideally, I would like to get it into the base game and the Zombies with Grave Weapons box. Keep shelf space down by using smaller boxes. If I have to get into one of the bigger boxes, I'm okay with that too, as really the Zombies with Grave Weapons is the same thickness as one of those boxes, so it's not going to be a huge difference at the end of the day for shelf space. Let's see what we can do here though. So we've got one box that is holding all of the boards currently. This is the base game box. I don't think these scenarios are going to be able to fit in here. Oh, they are. Okay. Can we also get the hero cards into there? If we keep all the cardboard in one box, that's kind of nice. Oh, we can. Just don't know if I have enough room for the scenarios. However, or for the instructions, sorry. However, if we take out these forest boards here, put those onto the top, like so, that's going to give us a tiny bit more space down there. Not really, it seems. It should have done in theory, but I don't think it's done much of anything. Can I put them that way? Definitely not. Okay. I'm going to have to go this way if we're going to do it. Can we get the instruction manuals on top of there? I mean, really, we can just keep the Timber Peak instruction manual and refer back to that one that's going to have all the rules we need anyway. That should be okay if we just do that, probably. I would like to actually make a player aid that, these scenarios here, let me find one. That's not a good one. Like this. So this is Salvin Mission from Blood in the Forest. And you see here it has, in the red text, has various little pieces you have to add on. So here's replenish, hero card pool 8, forest ring, airfield board. You can remember most of these, but some of these on different ones, they can be a little iffy. So I'd like to have a player aid that just lists those, all of those. I was actually making one at one point and I never got around to finishing it, so maybe I should do that one day. Let's shut everything back on there for now. Okay, we're also going to put the sun track marker on there. I'm going to put the sun track marker from Timber Peak. As much as I like the one Blood in the Forest, the one that's Timber Peak is slightly wider or slightly more spaced out, just a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I've just noticed that now. I prefer the look of it, to be honest, the steady blue instead of the sudden red jolt. I also don't care for that. It just has some of the missions on there, but not all the missions on there. Especially when you get some expansions, don't have all the missions on the start. So might as well just go with this one. We're also going to chuck the sun track marker and other tokens in there, because that goes with these two markers here, mark stuff on scenarios, and the sun track marker obviously marks the sun track, so that makes sense to go in this box as well. We'll also throw zombie spawning pits in here. We've got plenty of room in this little channel to throw stuff. We'll chuck the dice in there. We will chuck the number tokens in there. I should probably do something with the promo card they gave me, but I just like that it's signed. I love just having it. I really don't want to have to use it, but I probably should at some point. I'm going to chuck the fire tokens in there as well. We'll chuck the graves in there. Why not? Go crazy. These big tokens, they fit nicely. They should fit quite well there. That should be fine. Square tokens, they can also fit in here probably. So the miniatures and tokens I'm planning on doing in the zombie with grave weapons, or the miniatures and the cards, sorry. So this is the hero deck that we're not using, so we'll keep that separate. That's the hero deck that I've built up here today. We've got the zombie deck in there, which is a little too big like that, and a little too tall like that. I think. Is it too big? Maybe I just need to remove like 10 or so cards just to fit it in here. Let's test it with the lid here. Oh no, the lid sits flush, just about. Okay, I think it's just the right height. Got lucky there. Here are upgrades. Again, I think that's just the right height sitting on there. Let's test it again here. Yep, just about the right height. Now if we go for the miniatures, will all the miniatures fit in here? That's a very good question. So we've got one set of zombies. Yeah, they're base zombies, not grave weapon zombies. Another set of zombies. That's grave weapon zombies, but we'll chuck those in here anyway. Timber Peak zombies can go in there as well. We're running out of room. Also going to want the hero minis in here if at all possible. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I would like to get the feral dead and the zombie behemoths in here, but I don't think that is going to happen for love nor money. Unless maybe we chuck if we move the deck down, we can chuck the grave weapon zombies down into there. Pile those zombies on top of there. Feral dead. Behemoths. Heroes. And Timber Peak zombies. It's tight, but does the lid fit on? If the lid fits on, just about. There's a little bit of squidge. There's a little bit of squidge. Shake it around, see if that fixes it. I think it's okay. Just. I mean, it's not perfect. We keep it in frame here. It's not perfect. But I think it's just about good enough. Okay, the player aids are going to have to go into the other box here. There's no way they're going to fit into there. So they're going to have to go into the other box. And then hopefully all the other tokens can fit in here as well. That fan expansion deck, that should be okay to sit in here. We've got circle tokens, salvage tokens, lights out and taken over tokens. Just about. That's the stuff that we can't actually use yet because I don't have that set, unfortunately. Flying Frog Productions, if you want to hook me up, that'd be lovely. That's the experience points. That is the wounds. That is the faith and pilot. And that is the zombie heroes infected. I think we're good, apart from like this extra hero deck. I'm going to keep separate anyway. Like in another box. And then the promo card that I got. Of course we need the rules as well. Last Night on Earth rules. That's a little bit squidgy over there. There we go. And Timber Peak rules. I mean, I don't need all of them, but if I can get them all in, I might as well, right? Grave weapons. How is this going to fare here? This box is going to be exceptionally heavy, though. I should probably distribute it between two boxes. But I think we're good. Alright. Let's get the Grave Weapons lid here. There we go. So we've condensed what was essentially two big boxes of Last Night on Earth stuff, because the Blood in the Forest box was empty anyway, into one big box and one small box. Essentially, I mean, once I start getting more, which I would love to do, I genuinely love Last Night on Earth. It's one of my favourite games, like I said. So I'd like to get, I believe there's Growing Hunger, and a couple of other little expansions, I think, that I haven't got. I would love to get them, so I'll probably need to expand into a bigger box when we do the miniatures and such. We'll have to expand into a bigger box. But yeah, for now, it's going to work, I think. And this could probably fit, hopefully, the reason why I want to do a smaller box is I'm hoping this can fit onto the top of the shelf instead. Or on top of the other games. So this can be in the main games and this can be on top. That's the plan. But it's working. I'm happy with it. Yeah. Good job.